Okay, folks, how's it going, everybody? It is Friday, August 21st. It's hard to believe that it's already August 21st, but it is. That's what my computer says, so I believe it. I hope everybody's doing well, hanging in there, and taking good care of yourselves. So we're going to get into some stuff tonight. This show is called In the Studio. And I got my buddy Alex on the other side of things here. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead and put them on in there. Hey, Tom from Indiana, what's happening? Thanks for tuning in. And hi, Lori. I see some folks are jumping online. Turn you guys around so we can see one another. Well, I can't see you, but you can see me. Which, I don't know, maybe I should turn it back around. But hope everybody's doing good. I had the opportunity this last weekend to go up and visit my sister up in Ohio, which was awesome, and she seems to be doing well, socially distancing and all of that. So it was good to take a trip out of Nashville for a minute. Hey, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Hey, New York City. Danny Lloyd, what's up? Just looking at everybody who's on here. Hello, hello. Good people. And Danny Lloyd says tad bit more on the vocal. I can do that. I'm trying to use a couple of different microphones. This is probably a lot better, actually. Yeah, it sounds better to me even. And I'm here. So yeah, just let me know what everything is sounding like. And hey, Vermont, Elizabeth from Vermont, Amarillo, Texas. Let's see, Jeff, say hi to me. Oh, I know who that is. Let's see. Hey, Jackie Kane, what's up? My dear, dear friend Jackie Kane, how are you? Hope you're doing well. And the corn is sweet right now in Hudson. So my friend Jackie is talking about my Nana's farm in Hudson, Mass. And where we used to get corn all the time, and I think maybe she might be growing some too. I don't know, but we used to go out in the fields and hang out, and yeah, it was awesome. We used to have a really great time. And so anyhow, so this thing that I'm playing kind of in the background here, I don't want to play it too loud, so I don't want you to lose the voice here. But this is something that I was thinking that I would go ahead and play a little bit too. I think, I put out there last week that I bought a new instrument recently. And, oops, it's called, this is what you get, man, it's live. It's called the Hungarian Teragato. And I'm going to show this to you. I had a birthday last week, or 2 weeks ago. Wow, 2 weeks now. It's crazy. And so I decided I would buy myself an instrument. And so I did. And this instrument, this is the Hungarian Teragato right here. And it's sort of a cross between kind of a clarinet and a soprano sax. But it's also kind of different than that also, and so it's got a little bit of an English horn sound to it maybe, but it's got a kind of a clarinet mouthpiece that you probably see, and it's conical shaped like an ice cream cone. It goes from thin to fat at the bottom like a soprano, but it's got the key work of a clarinet. And so it has a very interesting sound to it, and it's beautiful. I absolutely love it. And so I was thinking that on the that tune I was just kind of playing in the background, I would go ahead and play something on that, just kind of improvise on that, and just kind of see how it sounds. So I'm gonna get this set up here for you. Get my microphone level together, which I think I probably already have it together. And so it's in the same key as the soprano. I'm going to show you that they're different sizes, but one of the interesting things about this instrument, it has holes in the bell. And I've never seen, well, I mean, there's very, very few instruments that I've ever seen that have holes in the bell. But basically, where this hole is here is where the length of the tube is when you're playing the lowest note. Because wherever there's a break in the tube is that determines the pitch. And so from this hole to the top of the mouthpiece, it's the same size as a soprano, but it's longer because it has this extra part of the bell. I'm not sure what that's for. Maybe I don't know. Maybe straining some kind of Hungarian liqueur. I don't know, but I like it. And so I'm going to play just a little bit of this for you, with no accompaniment, so you can hear what it sounds like, and kind of go from there and see what's up. Turn the microphone up. All right, I'm going to turn the microphone up. How is that? How is that? Hopefully you guys can hear a little bit better there. Let me see if I turn my volume up over here. Maybe that'll give everybody a little bit more sound. This is a one-person operation over here, folks. You get what you pay for, and don't forget it's free. All right, so I'm going to play a little of this Taragato for you, and then I'm going to, put my feet to the fire and improvise a little over to this other thing here. Okay, hang on a second. Okay, so this is just the Taragato by itself. So you can hear it has a kind of a different sound to it, and again, a little bit of an English horn, a little bit of soprano saxophone, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this other tune on, and I think that I have the volume up okay on that, and I'm going to basically just kind of improvise for this section. And just kind of see what I come up with. Basically what I've done on this is it's just a track. I'll play you just a little bit of this before I do it so you can hear it. That's probably a pretty good volume for everybody, I'm hoping. Yeah, so it kind of sits in two different keys. It does this and then it modulates up a fourth. So I'm going to go ahead and put myself into record and see what happens. Let you know also, if you have any questions, you can put them into the Facebook page there, and my buddy Alex, who's on the other side of things here, will relay them to me. And so here we go. All right, we're going to see what happens here. Wish me luck. Okay, so that's the Hungarian Taragato. First time I've actually ever played it in front of anybody, and so it's an interesting sound to me, and it's beautiful. I absolutely love it. And as any brand new instrument, takes some time to get used to, not only the intonation but the way of playing it, because I go into clarinet mode on it, and when I go into clarinet mode, I start to play fingerings that are based on the clarinet, and so there are a couple of things in there that maybe were not so, shall we say, correct. But it's a super fun instrument. I don't even know what some of these buttons are on this thing. I've got to be honest with you. I don't know what this is. I have no. I don't even think I've noticed that before. I'm going to play it and see what happens. It's almost like bassoon. Okay, so you got to use the thumb for that. Oh, that's really tricky. That's so weird. That is so weird. But I like it. That's the lowest note. That's the low B flat on the instrument. And yeah, what a strange and unusual little piece of gear. I've recorded on it though, and I'm going to play you guys something a little later that I recorded. A little story behind this though. This instrument, the Taragato. It's a Hungarian instrument. A guy named Josef Toff made this instrument, and he's the world's premier maker. And so when Dave Matthews Band was in Europe last year, we had a day off and we went to Budapest. And while I was there, I got in touch with a buddy of mine, and I talked about the potential of getting one of these instruments. And so got in contact with the maker, with Josef, and he didn't have any that were available, but we were going to try to meet up. It didn't happen. So this year again, I got in touch with my buddy in Hungary, and I was like, man, I'm got my birthday coming up. I'm gonna go ahead and order one of these instruments. So I got in touch, and we're kind of going back and forth, trying to figure out the best way to get the thing over here, and when he could make it, blah 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 blah. So one of my musical heroes, Charles Lloyd, who some of you may have seen Charles when he sat in with Dave Matthews out in San Francisco a few years ago. Charles is now 80 years old and still one of the geniuses of the saxophone, a spiritual master, and he's kind of a shaman in a lot of ways, not only musically, but it seems personally as well. And so I got in touch with him through his wife, asking about a mouthpiece, and if he uses the soprano mouthpiece or if he uses the clarinet type mouthpiece. And she said, well, he uses whatever was traditional, which is the clarinet type mouthpiece. And so she said, but Charles has a couple of these, and he talked a few years ago about possibly selling one. And if you're interested, he would sell you one of his. Now, I was trying to be cool, like looking at the emails, and but it was so exciting to me to think about buying this instrument from Charles Lloyd, who has been, again, one of my musical heroes for many, many, many years. And so that's exactly what I did. I bought this Taragato from Charles Lloyd. And the first thing that I recorded on it was a tune for him and his wife Dorothy called Gratitude, and I sent it over to them. And we're going to go out with that tonight as kind of a thank you to Charles and his wife, They're awesome, amazing people. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get a couple of things set up so that when I'm ready to jump in here, we can do it. But recently, a good friend of mine, a wonderful photographer up in New York City, Greg Kessler, asked me if I would be interested in doing something with his son, Ezra, who is a wonderful young drummer. Ezra's in his teens. I'm not exactly sure which teen he's in, but I've known Ezra since he was a wee little baby, since he was in the womb, and so I've heard him developing over the years, and he's taking the jazz at Lincoln Center summer program and all this kind of stuff. And so I've seen videos of him hanging out in the parks in New York, and just making music with other musicians. And Greg's along, taking photos, being the doting father. And Greg used to take a lot of photos with Bela Fleck and the Flecktones. If you ever seen the photography book of the Flecktones, Greg Kessler took all those photos. Greg is also solely responsible for me getting into digital photography. And years ago, when Greg was still in college, I think, and he won some big Kodak award, and they gave him a digital camera, one of the first generation digital cameras. And so when he got into a higher end camera, I think he got into a Nikon or something, he gave me this camera. And so I started to, I just took a lot of bad photos for a while. And he would come on the road with us with the Flecktones. I would just ask him a gajillion questions. I'd call him up when he was home in New York, be going, Greg, what about this? How do I do this? And so he was hugely helpful. Greg is such a dear friend, and I love him to death. And so anyway, so he got in touch about me doing a tune with his son Ezra online. And so I said, sure, man, let's do it. So Ezra picked a tune made famous by the great Sonny Rollins called Tenor Madness. And so Ezra sent me a track of him playing drums, and I put down a track of me playing saxophone, and we both have videos. And so I'm going to share that for you here, and I hope you like it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, gregkessler.com, there it is right there. And you can check him out, and he's awesome, and his kid is awesome. So this is Ezra right there. Ezra Kessler, and yours truly there on the left. So I'm going to let you guys check this out. It's a couple minutes long, and so here we go. Go on, Ezra. You got it. Ezra Kessler on the drums. Yeah, Ezra Kessler on the drums there, and so I do a lot of education work. And I'm going to play this again for you because man, he really sounds great on this. He's out there doing it. He's out there, like really making things happen with musicians and out in the street making music in Lincoln Center making music and studying with great cats. And I want to play it again because I just want you all to hear a young talent like Ezra. This is one of the reasons why I do a lot of music education work also. Music changes lives. And, right now musicians obviously are out of work, especially in Nashville where the tourism is down a lot because of COVID. Musicians are out of work for the foreseeable future. A couple tiny little things going on here and there, but nothing much, man. There's not much going on. And so one of the things I've been doing is I've been raising money from iTA studiostreams.com that goes directly to Nashville musicians. And we will have raised over $10,000 in the last 6 months. And so when I'm able to start having people back up here, I'll be able to pay them like it's a real gig. I keep hoping within the next couple of weeks. But, people aren't masking, and it keeps setting us back. It keeps us from moving into phase 3, which would then allow me to have musicians up here. So with that in mind, I'm going to ask you if you're interested in donating. You can go to itastudiostreams.com, and there's a PayPal link on there. And again, 100% of that money goes to local musicians, about 99% of whom are completely out of work. So I hope you'll consider that. No amount is too small. Certainly no amount is too large. And so we really appreciate you considering that. So thank you. And I think I've shown you before, but this is my studio. Someone asked about the flag in the back. It's a Portuguese flag. I've got a drum set in here, and I've got a bass amp and keyboards, and I spend a whole lot of time up here every day. I'm probably up here for 8 hours a day most days, working on music, composing. I'm writing a couple of books right now also. I'm coming out with an improvisational flute etudes book that I'm hoping to have out by next week. And maybe I'll play some stuff from that for you next week on flute. That could be kind of fun. But I'm going to play this video from Ezra one more time. Again, Sonny Rollins' composition entitled Tenor Madness. And this is Ezra Kessler on the drums and myself on the tenor saxophone. And it's only a couple of minutes long, so, what the heck, man? I'm going to play it for you. And I hope you like it. Again, here we go. Ezra Kessler, Jeff Coffin, Tenor Madness. Boom. Hi, Debbie Praver. Miss P. You guys should look in the comments. You can see Ezra's Instagram account there also. Easy Drums NYC. Easy. Yeah, Greg Kessler. Thanks for checking it out. Yeah, Ezra. how you end a tune right there. That's right. Okay, so that's Ezra Kessler, Easy Drums NYC on Instagram, and check it out, man. It's pretty cool what he's doing. It's really awesome. What a great kid. Also, I mean, I've known him for, well, his entire life. All right, so next for you, let's see what's next on the agenda here. Oh, here's a tune that's not finished that I'm going to play for you, and I'm going to play a little soprano saxophone. I don't have a name for this one yet, so once again, I'm going to ask you guys if you come up with anything to let me know. And you know, I have to be honest. A few weeks ago, I asked you guys for some names, and you came up with some. And I kind of made fun of a couple of them, and I'm sorry I made fun of them. A couple of them were really funny, and but I actually I felt a little bad because you guys were being serious, and I was being an a-hole. So sorry about that, but I do appreciate it, and I can't remember what they were, but they were good. A couple of them were really good, actually. But this one, this is going to be a fun tune, man. This is it's got a bit of a New Orleans vibe to it, but different, you know. And so I'm going to play a soprano solo, a couple of courses of soprano on this, and it's right in the middle of it. And I'm not sure how long this tune is. Let's see here. That's like 5 minutes long. Yeah, all right, cool. All right, well, here we go. And once again, if you have any ideas on a name, let me know. All right? Thanks, y'all. Really appreciate you guys tuning in tonight also. And I'll get to some questions after this, too. Man, what the song needs is a soprano saxophone solo. Oh, you know what? I'm so sorry, you guys. I had my my other microphone in the wrong channel. Okay, here we go. Okay, that's better. how it ends. So anyhow, that's going to be a fun tune. That's going to be a fun tune. Go back to my regular microphone here. And so there's a couple of solos in there, a couple of solo sections. And man, I kind of like the way the flute sounds there towards the end. Over the last melody like that. I hadn't tried that before. I actually hadn't planned to take a flute solo, but in all honesty, I forgot that there was 2 choruses. So when I ended the soprano solo, I couldn't just keep on playing. So I said, I will grab the flute. Oh yeah, oh good. Oh, some cool little titles here. I like that. I'm gonna look at these a little later on. Right on. Very cool. Okay, so I promised to get to a couple of questions here. Andrew Staples seems to be one of my question guys tonight. He's got a couple up here. Andrew asks, Andrew Staple wants to know, working on any new DMB stuff? No, actually. We've all been in touch. We all text each other and send various goofy things to each other. When someone has a birthday or, just to say hi. Dave sent kind of a fun message a couple of days ago, and we all miss each other, man. We miss making music together. We miss hanging out. We miss laughing together. We miss being on the road. But it'll happen. It's a minor inconvenience for keeping people safe and making sure that everything is solid on our end. We don't want our crew to get sick. We don't want our fans to get sick. We don't want any of their families to get sick. So it's a small price to pay, even though it's a bummer. I'm going to miss being out at the Gorge also, as I'm sure some of you will miss that as well. But, we'll do the Gorge from my studio. And, we'll celebrate that way. We'll celebrate together. But no, we're not working on any music currently. There's nothing in my studio, nothing in my Pro Tools that's Dave Matthews Band related. But I am working on a lot of different music, a lot of personal music. I'm just trying to, carve away at it as I can and as I can get people on it. But sure is fun to be able to sit in here and work on stuff creatively, and I'm very grateful for that. Jimmy Miller is asking, hey, Jimmy, what's happening? Maybe you're into this already, but how do the fingerings compare to the soprano? You're talking about the Terregato. They're pretty similar, actually, to the soprano. But I keep trying to play it like a clarinet because it feels like a clarinet, and it sounds a bit like a clarinet. But it's very, very, very close to a soprano. There's 2 octave mechanisms on the back for the thumb. There's usually only one, and I think, just from trial and error, that this top one you have to use this when you play the top stack, when you go up to these notes in the left hand. Here, you have to go up to the second octave, but everything else is similar. So it's middle C is here, C sharp is open, B, A, G sharp, G. It's very similar, except for the low B flat is here on the thumb. I'm not flipping you off. Actually, I guess I kind of am, but I don't mean to be. But the low B flat is here on the thumb, and there's no palm keys. I don't really yet know what this does either. I'm going to figure that out at some point. I'm sure there's a manual, right? There's going to be a Terregato PDF somewhere to figure out what these do. But I'll figure. It's only a couple of notes. I can figure that out. If I can't, probably don't deserve to have that instrument. So yeah, they're very similar to soprano fingerings. Tabitha Lee Sahadi. Hey, Tabitha. Thanks for your question. Once you know what the playlist is for the DMB show, the set list, how much room for improvisation you have on the various songs? Let's see. Well, it varies. I think every tune has a solo on it, so sometimes those tunes are sometimes the solo section. Um, um, it'll have like a particular length to it. Sometimes it's more open-ended. If there's a guitar solo or a keyboard solo, then Rashawn and I will usually get into playing some kind of horn riffs behind it, especially if it's an extended solo, which kind of helps the solo build and that kind of thing. So there's a lot of room for improvisation. The parts that we play, especially in the horn section, because there's two of us, they're set in stone. I mean, they're parts that we have to play together. That's part of our role, is for two people to be one unit. So we have to articulate together. We have to be in tune with one another. We have to crescendo and decrescendo together. The same length of the notes. I mean, these are all really important elements of playing in the horn section. But there's a lot of room for improvisation. What percentage I don't really know, but quite a lot. Yeah, that's one of the things I love so much about it. It feels like a 7-piece small group, like a jazz small group, playing in front of all you amazing people. Thousands upon thousands of people. It's very intimate, actually, on stage. Scott Self, this is a funny question. Love your work individually. Thank you. Be honest. You get tired of DMB questions. Honestly, I don't, because I get enough other questions that, people know that I do a lot of things outside of Dave Matthews Band. And, we have great fans, and I think that people are curious about, kind of what goes on behind the scenes, and, they have certain questions that maybe they wouldn't get a chance to ask unless it was here. So I don't get tired of those. I do a number of podcasts. I've done a number of podcasts over the last 6 months. I can't believe it's been 6 months, right? And I do a lot of interviews, and there's usually Dave Matthews Band questions sprinkled in there. But I've been teaching for almost 30 years. Doing music education. I've got 17 plus solo records out. By the way, if you want to check any of those out, go to jeffcoffin.com or Spotify or Bandcamp or anything like that. But I've got 17 solo records out. I've got another couple that are getting ready to hit in the next 6 months. I've got my own record label called Ear Up Records. That's earuprecords.com. I'm an author. I've written 3 or 4 books, music books, and I've got another couple that I've been working on. I'm a composer also. I engineer. I produce. I mix. So there's a lot of things that I do that people ask questions about. So honestly, I don't get tired of those questions. I appreciate them because it means that the fans care about what we do, and they're curious. So I don't. It's a great question, though. I've never been asked that question, and I really appreciate that, though. Andrew Staples has a couple of questions I'll answer in the same question. What photography gear do you use, and do you have any favorite places in Maine to photograph? I grew up in Maine for a number of years, and in fact, my mom might be listening tonight. Mom, I love you if you're listening. Thanks for listening. If you're not listening, why the hell aren't you listening? But I'm a Canon guy. I have a Canon 5D Mark III, and I've got some nice lenses. I've got a 50 millimeter. It's 1.4, I think. Is that right? 1.4? Jeez. It's a little stubby, 50 millimeter. It's great. And one of my favorites is my 80 millimeter, 85 rather. It's an 85 prime, and it's absolutely gorgeous. The glass is incredible on it. I've got a 70 to 200 also. If any of you saw the photo of Comet Neowise that I took that by balancing my 5D Mark III on a music stand, basically in the woods, and getting an extended exposure of that of the comet. So yeah, I'm a Canon guy. Mike Middaugh, what's my favorite coffee or tea? Well, I gave up caffeine about 11 years ago, and but tea-wise, man, I'm a tea guy. Herbal tea, though, because I don't drink caffeine, not even green tea. So one of my very favorites is a turmeric ginger from Rishi, Rishi, Rishi Tea Company. It's all organic, comes in these cool little packets, and you can also get it loose. But their turmeric ginger is incredible. I just also recently got their elderberry tea because I've never had elderberry tea before, and I saw it and I was like, oh, I'm going to try that. Rooibos, I love the South African rooibos. Is fantastic. Hibiscus tea I really like a lot. Yeah, so kind of any herbal. I used to make a lot of herbal teas also. There was a place in Nashville that got taken out during the tornado. Man, I was so sorry to, a lot of people were devastated. This business was called High Garden Teas. And you walk in and it looked like an old apothecary. And, they were mixing, herbs and all this. Oh, it was incredible. And I sure hope they come back, and I think they will. But, yeah, incredible. Okay, so Belinda Cropley, in pandemic times, do you put on shows with just your music? I do, actually. I have a group called the Mutet that I take out sometimes. I also have groups with other folks. I've been doing some stuff with Keith Carlock and Nir Felder, Felix Pastorius, Victor Krauss, a number of different folks. And so different configurations of things. Recently I put together a new band in Nashville called the New Gurus, which was a bunch of young cats and who I think are going to be like the next guys, Well, they already are the next guys, the next generation. And I've been doing some stuff with Jennifer Hartswick and Chris Myers. Jennifer's from Trey Anastasio's band. Chris plays with Humphreys McGee, as you probably know. And it's called Music with 5 Questions. And you can check out Instrument Head Live for more information on that. And the New Guru stuff, we've got 7 tunes recorded, 5 videos that we'll be releasing sometime this fall also. It's a fantastic band. So, yeah, I do a lot of stuff, on my own, not only clinic-wise at schools and doing concerts with students and that kind of thing, which I love. I teach at Vanderbilt University also, so I do teach here in Nashville too. But yeah, when that stuff happens, and it's more and more rare these days, just finding time to do it around all the other things. So, David Crowell. Oh, this is a great question. Ever play the bass saxophone? I have. And you said you scored a Levante bass on Amazon. Oh, that's a great price, man. Amazing. But I played a bass saxophone a number of times. I played a contrabass when DMB was in London the last time. There's a saxophone store called sax.co.uk, sax.co.uk, and it's a great saxophone place. And so they had a contrabass in there. I think maybe I posted a video of it somewhere on my Instagram page. I think there's a video of it. But man, what a sound! Incredible. And I remember there was a family that came in. Can't remember where they were from. Somewhere in the States, but maybe on the West Coast somewhere. And their son was a saxophone player. And as they drove by, they had seen the contrabass in the window, and so they pulled the car over, came into the store, and we met. And I was playing it, and so the son. We were talking, he was a saxophone player, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, man, I said, you got to play it. He's like, no, not good. So I convinced him to play it. And I was talking to his folks, and I said, he's going to have loved his Europe trip. But getting to play a contrabass saxophone in London, I said, is going to be the highlight. I said, you know that, right? And, of course, they cleaned the mouthpiece. This was before COVID and all that, but, of course, they cleaned the mouthpiece and all that. And but yeah, the bass sax, man, wow, what a great horn. And you're playing a Jody Jazz DV bass sax mouthpiece. Jody makes some great stuff. I'm playing one of his baritone pieces, and it's awesome. Let's see, a couple. Let's got time for a couple more, but I want to play you one more thing as we go out. Gil Zioni says, "How do you count the Mad Hatter?" So it's like it's. You wrote the Med Hunter here, but I think you meant the Mad Hatter. And it's kind of like Alice in Wonderland, the Mad Hatter. So it's the Mad Hatter is in 8.5. So it's bo do do dee da 3 and 4 and 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 1. So you can do it as a long 4, a long 3, and then a short 3, or 8.5. Bo do do 1 2 3 4 1. Sorry. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8.5. 1 2 3 4 and 5 and 6 7 8.5. 1. Or you can also count it in 17. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 13 14 15 16 17 1 2 3 4, so on and so forth. So there's a number of different ways that you can approach that. Usually I think of it as a long 4, a long 3, and then a short 3. Okay. Heidi Kleber, I hope I know I'm mispronouncing one of those because I didn't say it the same. But Heidi K, shall we say? What's the app you have for your music? I downloaded it but lost it with a phone change. I don't personally have an app for my music. There's one called iReal Pro. I'm not sure if that's the one you mean, that you can play along with stuff. But I do have a play along series, but it's not on an app. So I'm not sure. If you could be more specific, I could try to answer that a little better. Scott Self. Hey, Scott, what's up? Saw you in the Muted in Amarillo. A lady started loudly singing along. How do you and the guys stay focused? I remember this very clearly. I was down there with the Mutet, and we were playing a tune called Al's Greens. And suddenly this woman in the balcony starts singing along, improvising, almost like in this operatic voice. And it was an opera house, so it filled the room. And we just let her sing, It was really a beautiful moment in a lot of ways. And also really funny, that somebody was moved in the middle of a concert to start singing along. And yeah, Scott, I remember that very well. Nicole Rasmussen, have you played with any symphony orchestras? Yeah, I've played with the Nashville Symphony a number of times, and also Nashville Chamber Ensemble. And with the Flecktones, we used to do symphony gigs, and it was really a lot of fun. And I love it. I love hearing the orchestra and witnessing the orchestra and all that. So yeah, sure have. So well, look, folks. Oh, it's your birthday, Elaine Young Clement. It's your birthday tomorrow. Can you play me a tune? Of course, of course. I think I know just the tune. All right, Elaine, this one's for you. Happy birthday tomorrow. You know what, Elaine? I'm going to record this for you, and I'm going to put it up online. And I'm going to put it up for free. And you can have it. Anybody can have it. So this is for Elaine Young Clement. And happy birthday. Recording it. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I'm going to start again. I'm going to play exactly the same thing. No, I'm not. Okay, now I'm recording. Like I said, man, you get what you paid for, and this is free. happy birthday to you, Elaine. Hope it's a great one. Okay, folks, so it is 8 o'clock, and it is about that time. All right? So I am going, hey, Elaine, just as a reminder, I'm going to put that tune online, that rendition, if you will, of Happy Birthday. I'm going to bounce that down from my computer, and I'm going to put it out there, and any of you can download it and check it out. Maybe I'll do a little video of it also. Pull it from here. So, all right, so I'm going to leave you guys with a little bit of this tune that I recorded the other day on Terragato that I dedicated to the great Charles Lloyd and his wonderful wife, Dorothy. If you get a chance to check out his music, Charles Lloyd, incredible. I think his website's charlesloyd.com. And one of my very, very favorites, you know. And so I'm going to send this out to Charles and Dorothy, and also to the great Leroy Moore. The anniversary of his passing was a couple of days ago, August 19th, 2008. It's been 12 years. Hard to believe that it's been 12 years. So this is going out to my buddy Roy and to his memory. And so thanks for tuning in, y'all. Love you. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And I will catch you soon for sure. All right. Peace, everybody. So I'll see you all next Friday. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I appreciate it. ITAstudiostreams.com. And we'll see you soon. Take good care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And lead with some gratitude. I appreciate you all. Thank you. Good night, everybody.